Backstage news on CM Punk working the upcoming WWE Night of Champions PLE in Saudi Arabia, despite his past comments about WWE shows in the Kingdom, suggesting that people performing on them were accepting blood money. Is CM Punk a hypocrite? Did he have a choice in the matter? We'll let you know all the details in the upcoming video. Now, R-Truth, of course, he's back in WWE as Ron Killings, and WWE reportedly are in fear of crowds dictating creative after the R-Truth situation. We've got details as to if the split of Warner Bros. Discovery into two separate publicly traded companies is going to affect its broadcast partner, All Elite Wrestling. Jay Cargill reportedly is planned for a push leading into WWE Evolution. Backstage news on potential WWE NXT interest in TNA and former AEW wrestler Mike Santana. We have the ratings for Friday's Money in the Bank Go Home episode of Smackdown. More details on WWE's acquisition of AAA Lucha Libre following the Worlds Collide event this past weekend. Zoe Stark confirms she has undergone surgery on an ACL, MCL meniscus injury. And more details on the Inspiration's return to TNA wrestling. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Before we begin, you can see right there, we're at 22,338 subscribers. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Join the ever-expanding WNU, that being the Wrestling News universe. In addition, you can become a member of the WN's 365 roster. Links in the video description below. You can click the join button or scan the QR code as it appears on the sidebar. You get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content. Now, let's begin with CM Punk set to work his first WWE Saudi PLE since returning to the company in 2023. And it is significant, of course, because Punk has been outspoken in the past about WWE's relationship with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, despite his past comments about the Gulf state, CM Punk will wrestle in Saudi Arabia when he challenges John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship at Night of Champions on June 28th. The match was made official on the post-Money in the Bank edition of Monday Night Raw last night on Netflix. Now, prior to returning to WWE in 2023, Punk was critical of Saudi Arabia, which included the former WWE champion telling The Miz to go suck a blood money-covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork, during an online argument in January of 2020. Punk's public stance appeared to have softened since returning to WWE, however, and he noted in May of 2025 that he doesn't hate coming to Saudi. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, CM Punk would have been able to turn down performing at Night of Champions without suffering any backlash in WWE, but the 46-year-old had not voiced any objections about wrestling in Saudi Arabia for months at the very least. He said, quote, he could not go if he really wanted to. He was going months ago. I had already asked about that. It was a couple of months ago when the show was first talked about, and he was in the original promo package, and then he was taken out of the promo package, and I asked, am I supposed to see when Rollins replaced him in that promo package that he's not going? And it's like, nope, he's going. So it's been known he's going for months, probably all along. I don't know if he ever voiced any issue with going at any point since he signed, but he is not in months, I know, so he's going, Meltzer said. Now, Meltzer added that there is pressure on talents in WWE to work Saudi Arabia events, but that same pressure does not apply to the company's top stars. Quote, he is big enough, he could have said no, and it wouldn't have impacted him. If you're a mid-level guy and you said no, you would be able to not go, but it would impact you. I know of instances of people who are told essentially, you don't have to go, we're not forcing you to go or anything like this, but if you don't want to go, can we push you into a big spot? And they still could, but it said it's put in your head that you probably ought to go. Now, also announced for WWE Night of Champions are the finals of the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournaments. June 28th will be the first singles match between John Cena and CM Punk since February of 2013. So what are your thoughts on Punk's decision to wrestle in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? Does this make CM Punk a hypocrite? Did you expect him to eventually work the match? Would you prefer to see CM Punk versus John Cena at another PLE rather than Night of Champions? Let me know your thoughts about all of it in the comments section below. Now, people are still reacting, of course, to Ron Killings' return to WWE and just what it means for WWE setting a precedent regarding fan backlash moving forward. Now, no sooner did he leave WWE was R-Truth back in WWE, attacking John Cena at the close of WWE Money in the Bank. Less than a week after he revealed WWE wouldn't be renewing his contract. Immediately, some began wondering if the whole thing had been a work from the start, something Triple H maybe alluded to at the post-Money in the Bank media scrum. But according to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, Triple H's comments contradict those in WWE who say Truth's departure was very real. Quote, as soon as he said that, I knew what it was, Meltzer said. And I mean, it's not like it was a work. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. It's a really weird story. I mean, in the sense of he's back because of the fans. That's the deal. He's back because of the fans. They saw the outcry and then they wanted to make him. They basically tore apart what they were going to do last on Sunday. And they brought him back and wanted to do the big moment. They're into moments. And as a moment, it was a big moment. It was a surprise. It got everyone talking. There's a couple of things I've seen people on social media talk about it. I mean, it sets a weird precedent because now fans will think that if somebody they like is cut, they can get them back. And Meltzer elaborated on this in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio Show. He said, quote, it's funny because the whole thing does prove the fans have a voice. And some people have gone, now the fans know they have a voice, they can hijack the show. Which is exactly what everyone in WWE, well, not everyone, most people in WWE on the top side are in fear of. Because they've had this audience that hasn't done that in years. And now all of a sudden, they did that. So the question is, has this set a dangerous precedent for WWE and a difficult one moving forward, or is this such a unique and one-off situation that it was actually the right thing to do? Let me know your thoughts about that one too in the comment section below. Now, big news yesterday regarding AEW's broadcast partner, Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, Warner Brothers Discovery is set to split their company into two. On June 9th, that being yesterday, Warner Brothers Discovery announced they would be splitting the company in two, with one side focusing on the company's studio productions and streaming services, headed by Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, while the other will focus on the company's global television networks and will be handled by CFO Gunnar Weidenfels. Now, from David Zaslav, he said, quote, by operating as two distinct and optimized companies in the future, we are empowering those iconic brands with the sharper focus and strategic flexibility they need to compete most effectively in today's evolving media landscape, end quote. Now, many people have wondered, what does this mean for All Elite Wrestling? Well, Fightful's Sean Rossap reached out to a WBD spokesman who said that right now, details are few and far between, but that the split doesn't take effect until mid-next year. Sources close to the situation, according to Fightful Select, reiterated that AEW has contracts in place and that as of now there are no changes planned and that AEW is still a big focus for WBD. As of now, there doesn't look to be any AEW changes associated with this and they are not at risk of a TV deal just evaporating or anything like that. Now, of course, Evolution is getting closer and closer, that being the second ever all-women's PLE in WWE history. WWE will present the Evolution Premium Live event from Atlanta's State Farm Arena on Sunday, July 13th, and one major match planned for the event has been revealed. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Jade Cargill is expected to receive a big push leading into Evolution as she's local to Atlanta, and it is believed she will help move tickets for the event. The early plan is for Naomi versus Jade Cargill, which is something that has been hinted at in recent interviews and on the Money in the Bank post-show from Naomi. Naomi and Jade Cargill have been feuding for several months, with it being revealed at Elimination Chamber that Naomi was Cargill's backstage attacker in late 2024. Cargill defeated Naomi at WrestleMania 41, but Naomi emerged victorious from a triple threat against Cargill and Nia Jax to qualify for Money in the Bank. Naomi went on to win the women's Money in the Bank ladder match on Saturday, June 7, outlasting Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Alexa Bliss, and Roxanne Perez. Now, it appears WWE have pivoted from their original idea for Jade Cargill at Evolution, as it was noted back in May that match pitched for Evolution was Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair, but it looks like Naomi versus Cargill is now the current plan. Let's switch over to WWE NXT and possible interest in a current TNA wrestling star and a former AEW champion. Now, WWE has a few former AEW stars on their roster currently, and it seems that they may be interested in another one who was formerly part of Tony Khan's promotion, Mike Santana. Santana, currently a part of the TNA wrestling roster, has made a few appearances on WWE NXT in recent weeks and seems to have impressed the higher-ups in the promotion, as per PW Insider. Interest in Santana, the report claims, increased following his match match with Trick Williams, who currently holds the TNA World Championship. The report further added that Santana's current contract with TNA will end later this year, and him attracting eyeballs from WWE higher-ups could have an impact on his future. Santana first appeared on NXT television at the Battleground PLE, and he had his first match in WWE on NXT when he faced and defeated Tavon Heights. That win helped Santana earn a shot at the TNA World title. However, he was unsuccessful in getting the better of Williams in what was his first opportunity to win the championship. Now, Santana's current run with TNA is his second stint with the promotion, as he wrestled there between 2017 and 2019 before joining AEW, where he had a 5-year run. He explained that his decision to rejoin TNA was due to his belief that it was the best place for him to grow as a wrestler, while he also thinks that the timing was right for it. Ever since he appeared on NXT, Santana has received praise from fans and peers alike, with the likes of Bishop Dyer, formerly known as Baron Corbin, and Bully Ray commending his recent performances. Dyer praised Santana's promos, while Ray stated that the former AEW star has a higher upside than former TNA World Champion Joe Hendry. Now let's talk about the ratings for Friday's episode of SmackDown, of course, the Money in the Bank go-home show. Friday night's WWE Smackdown averaged 1.424 million viewers on USA Network, which is up 3% from the previous week. It's the best audience total for the show since May 9th. This was SmackDown's go-home show for Money in the Bank. In terms of total viewers, it finished 9th on all of television in prime time on Friday night. It ranked 2nd on television in the 18 to 49 demo, drawing a 0.42 rating. That's up over 23% from last week, and is the best rating the show has done in that category since the WrestleMania 41 Fallout episode on April 25th. The show went head-to-head with College Softball World Series on ESPN, which topped TV with a 0.47 rating in the 18 to 49 demo, and set a record for viewership for college softball game with 2.397 million viewers. As compared to the same week in 2024, when the show still aired on Fox, SmackDown's overall viewership was down 35.5%, while its 18 to 49 rating was down 31.2%. Now, a lot of people are talking about AAA following the WWE AAA Worlds Collide show on Saturday, and nearly 2 months after it was first announced that WWE was purchasing AAA, the two sides officially kicked off their relationship with Worlds Collide this past Saturday. The show featured El Hijo del Vikingo retaining the AAA Mega Championship against Chad Gable in the main event, as well as a slew of talent that American fans weren't used to. Of those individuals, Mr. Iguana appeared to wow the fans the most, earning a cameo at WWE Money in the Bank, and reports that he could be featured more in NXT going forward. Of course, that was likely to have happened anyway, even if Iguana and his pal Yezeka hadn't stolen the show on Saturday. Talking about Worlds Collide on Sunday's Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed the contractual status of all the AAA luchadors who appeared on the show, making it clear that all of them had been locked down before anyone stepped out from behind the curtain. Quote, WWE, one of the things that everyone did, not everyone in AAA, but all the people that they're using, they signed a lot of them to contracts, including people who are not even on this show, but everyone who is on this show, Meltzer said. Because the last thing they want is someone on this show and Tony Khan goes and signs them because they're not under contract. So everyone's under contract and they're doing merch with everyone. Those contracted AAA talents can be seen this weekend when AAA holds its Triple Mania event out of Monterrey, Mexico. At the moment, it's unclear if the show will be shown in the United States, though it is expected to be broadcast in Mexico. Now, we have an injury update here on WWE superstar Zoe Stark after that gruesome injury suffered on Raw. Now, back in May, WWE superstar Zoe Stark suffered a horrific injury on Raw, one that was compared to Sid Vicious's infamous leg break during his WCW run that nearly ended his career, coming off a missile dropkick. Now, Stark landed hard and injured her knee coming off a similar move. She has now undergone surgery for her injury and released a short video updating fans on her status and hinting at making an announcement about her future. The video showed Stark 8 days after her injury outside of Rothman Orthopedics, confirming she was set for an ACL, MCL, and meniscus surgery. Stark was then shown getting ready in her car for the surgery before being shown walking into the hospital on crutches, then laying in bed ahead of the 3.5-hour surgery she was scheduled for. Following this, Stark teased she'll be revealing her next move, urging her fans to stay tuned on Monday, June 16th, to hear what her decision will be. It remains to be seen when Stark will be able to compete again, but it's largely believed that she'll be out of action for the remainder of 2025. However, with the slew of recent WWE releases, her job may not be secure as she recovers from surgery that will have her out for almost a year. Unfortunately, there's always the case that the injury might have ended her career, and that her tease is simply when she'll be able to give fans an update or a definitive answer about her future as a pro wrestler. If we get any more details, we'll let you know, but we wish her the best in her recovery from the injury and surgery. And finally, an update here on the Inspiration being back in TNA Wrestling. Cassie Lee and Jess McKay, the Inspiration, are back in TNA Wrestling. Fightful Select had reported they're signed to the company on deals that are less than a year. A TNA Wrestling source indicated that regime changes likely led to their return, but Fightful have been told that's not the case. It was clarified to Fightful they had good relationships on a personal and professional level with previous management, with Gail Klim being named as one of those particularly. Fightful are told by those close to the situation that they took time away to build their families and are now at a point where they could make a return to TNA. The deal was done at least a week ahead of their return, as TNA Wrestling had teased it internally. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. As you can see right there, we're at 22,338 subscribers. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Join the ever-expanding WNU as we get closer to 25,000 subscribers, our goal for 2025. You can scan that QR code right there on the sidebar and join members of the WN365 roster. You get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video. Click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.